In this episode we continue on our biggest adventure so far. And for me, a lifelong dream that comes true. A non-stop 4,000 nautical miles sail across the Pacific Ocean, the biggest ocean on our planet. After decades of dreaming, the reality kicks in as we finally leave Panama after several years of planning with ups and downs. With almost endless numbers of sunsets and sunrises ahead, our plan is to drop the anchor outside Fatu Hiva as our first stop in French Polynesia. Hopefully without too many challenges or situations to deal with. But 4,000 nautical miles is a very long sail, and anything can happen, and even though it's well prepared adventure. Land ho! Fatu Hiva, the island of my childhood hero Torheda. In the previous episode, we lost our light wind sail in the ocean when the halyard snapped, leaving us without any light wind options for the next 3,000 miles. So, part of the Pacific crossing is actually endless change of sails, and some are voluntary and some are not voluntary.
Zero!
Yay.
We just crossed Equator! Do you feel different?
For King Neptune, cheers!
Cheers!
For a safe journey in the South Pacific. After several days that felt like endless drifting with absolutely no wind, we finally started to sail again, making more progress in one day than the last 3 days. Still a bit annoyed knowing we have no light wind options for the long passage ahead of us, but it is what it is. I replaced the halyards before leaving to avoid this from happening, proving that even though you do your best, anything can happen on a long passage like this. As we now starting to make some progress over this big ocean while pointing more towards west, we are at the same time making significant distance to shore, out of reach for any resources in any directions. Some thoughts starting to surface again in the back of my mind. It's not like I'm worried or stressed, but as I said many times on this channel, the day I fear nothing, it's time to go ashore, because in my opinion I would then be a dangerous sailor. My two biggest, maybe not fears, but at least concerns, is half-sunken containers lost from container ships, and whales. At the same time, to see whales in their natural habitat is such a blessing and great reward not many to experience. Like the experience I had when crossing the Atlantic Ocean in 2018. An amazing experience, but at the same time a bit scary, especially because they swim so close to my rudders. So you might say it's a mixed feeling, as you really want to see it, but at the same time not. And only a few weeks earlier, a sailboat I seen in Shelter Bay sank out here after a collision with what I believe was a whale. And right now I believed I saw something, but I was not sure, even though I thought I heard the unmistakable sound of breathing air. Hoping to get close encounter with the ocean life, I called G out to come and be prepared for an experience of a lifetime. And it turned out to not be a bad call. Soon, we saw several what we believe was pilot whales. Unfortunately, they disappeared just as fast as they shoved up. But we got to share this amazing moment for some minutes, adding another experience to remember from this adventure. We have been taking turn in the galley, but it's fair to say that G have been dominating this task to help me out. Even making pancakes, as in my opinion, is the strongest proof of having adapted very well. Making pancakes out in the high seas is probably some of the most challenging food to make, even being a simple dish. It's hot and time consuming down below in a moving boat. So what are you looking for?
Green flash.
You
I'm
think
not
you're gonna,
looking at you, I'm looking to the sunset.
do you think you're gonna see it?
Yeah, stop the picture.
You're focusing. You're afraid of losing it again.
Yeah.
Okay, so what G is actually looking for is the green flash, and I showed her a few times and she missed it. So tonight she's definitely gonna see it. Unfortunately, there were not a clear and bright horizon that's needed for seeing the green flash as the sun sets. At least we got another spectacular sunset, and soon we can even enjoy the moonshine and the bright stars. It's difficult to film and even harder to explain, but the nights out here are just amazing. So the sailing is so slow, so I decided to make some cinnamon buns, but it's a little bit rolling because we are going dead flat downwind, and you can hear there's almost no wind to even keep the sails up. So, but I'm done with the dough and also the cinnamon and sugar mix. So here is that and the dough. Okay, they look kind of good, but what do you think?
Yeah, it feels good.
We have a new batch in here, and G is cutting off the bacon. We have had so much rain and cloudy days so far on this passage, and the days are also very short, with only 12 hours of daylight. If you also count in that from sunrise until the solar get any power production, and sailing from east to west, the solar panels gets early shade from the sails, you're left with not much sunshine on the solar. So even with our monster storage of power, we are actually starting to run low on energy. And of course the Fisher Panna diesel generator did not start. So luckily we have redundancy with a backup Honda generator, and had to run it for some hours to get a bit up on energy again. We found out that securing the Honda generator at the starboard aft corner was a good idea, sending the exhaust away from us. The noise we just had to live with at the moment. One of my biggest surprises out here was the messy seas. I would expect this big and deep ocean far away from interference of shallow waters and islands would have better organized seas. I was obviously wrong, expecting bigger waves with greater distance in between. What we have had so far is not that different from the messy Caribbean Sea with currents in all directions making the waves choppy from all directions. Just as any ocean, the Pacific can also change fast and build up waves difficult to describe and even hard to show in a two-dimensional world as a movie. And so does of course also the wind. Given the fact we are only two persons on board, called short-handed in the sailing world, it's sometimes quite a challenge. Be Free is a powerful boat when the force of nature kicks in, and with boat speed about 10 knots, things goes fast. Even though G have some sailing experience growing up with it, and even worked on sailboats and expedition ships, is not to expect with such short sailing history on board Be Free that she would feel comfortable to stay alone and make her own decisions, especially when squalls arrives on top of already decent conditions. So naturally, the nights with challenging conditions was for me to deal with. What could be valuable to share is that even if you have a large crew on board, you might find out that rigid watch hours would not work throughout the entire passage. You can experience a period that could be long and intense for the skipper on board. With this knowledge and experience from other passages, I choose to invest in rest for G, so she could fill in for me when things comes down. I have never claimed to be a great fisherman, but trying to catch a fish now and then. Still dreaming of sushi or sashimi on this journey, but so far not get anything or only lost or lose. But with this beautiful weather and not going too fast or too slow, we wanted to try our luck again.
Have a fish. Don't know yet. And I don't think it's too big, so that's good. Because to be honest, we are not that big fishers. But something. It could be a shoe or something also.
It turned out to be a skipjack and it's not really my favorite fish. As a fun fact, this fish is what you get if you buy canned tuna. But it's eatable and we decided to give it a try. It needs to be bleeded right away, not to be destroyed. And G wants to practice on her filleting skills. So once she was done, I threw it in the fry pan with garlic, salt and pepper. It was not too bad and it was our first fish catched fillet and fried together.
So we have a situation. The halyard for the mainsail snapped, so it comes down by itself. So that can be a challenge. I hope we can get a sail down entirely. The problem is this is masthead. We already snapped the other masthead halyard for the code one. Now we only have one masthead halyard left, so yeah, this is getting a bit challenging. So, but okay, we just have to try to find out what's going on here. I replaced both halyards for the code one and for the mainsail in Panama. And unfortunately in Panama you only get shit quality. It's starting to be a little bit annoying. I bought two new halyards. It was not really cheap and supposed to be high quality, but as everything you buy there is just Chinese shit. Sorry China, but this is a bit annoying. You pay top dollars for a piece of shit.
I only have two Genoas wing on wing. The mainsail come down, halyard snapped. The code one was in the water because another halyard snapped. And then we have a third halyard that snapped. So basically we have 1.5 sail in the front because the other Genoa was ripped apart during another problem. So yeah, this is interesting. But we still have a little bit diesel, maybe enough to puff along a little bit around the corner on the island. So let's see how this goes.
So this is the story how I kicked Thomas' ass. Watch this.
What are you saying? That you kicked my ass?
Yes.
I'm sorry camera, you fall on the floor, and this is such an important moment. We need to take you back in position. So let's see if we can get
And
this.
this is how he cheats, because now it's gonna happen.
No. So I said green and you could not, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh no!
You know? Boom.
I say Uno
Ah,
before
but come
you
on.
say Uno.
So you see, your ass so hard.
Hey, you cheat!
Yeah, Diva?
You cheat because it's not true. I said Uno before you. You had to take all the cards.
What?
You're cheating.
As we get closer to the Marquises and the wind and even the waves comes down, we start to prepare for a potential good timing to go aloft, inspect the rollers and even replace the halyards. We should take down the damaged extra Genoa, but the risk of losing even another halyard made me just want to keep it. We could use the top lift halyard to hoist the mainsail again, but also this comes with a risk, as long as we don't know what's going on aloft. So for now, we just accept going slow until either reach our destination or the sea and wind makes it safe to go aloft. I don't want any broken bones in my body being thrown into the mast, so this will just have to wait. Due to the marinas in Panama were sold out on petrol, we left Panama with slightly too little on board. So we needed to save water for being on the safe side. As for now, Honda generator is our main source, not only for charging batteries after endless days of rain, it also is our energy source for running the water maker. So we showered in salt water and only use fresh water for a quick rinse afterwards. Only 2 days before reaching land we were being welcomed by dolphins, maybe to make me smile again, after even another setback. The pin for the autopilot just broke, meaning we have to hand steer the last hundreds of miles towards Fatu Hiva. So I'm happier than ever to have extra set of hands on board Be Free. If I only had got this 1 day earlier before leaving, I would maybe been able to modify and install the autopilot fittings before we set off. But I had no more energy left or hours in the day to finish this project before we set sail. Now we have to pay the price for that. Putting lines under the statement, 1 day extra in the marina saves you a week at sea. We never got any calm seas or zero wind again, so being so close it made no sense to try fixing any of our challenges before being in a calm anchorage. There was never any serious problems, as everything can be fixed and replaced, and we even carry spare parts and spare sails on board. So we choose to just enjoy our experience as we have done the entire passage, and even sharing moments where I'm a bit annoyed. Ups and downs is the truth and the reality from a long passage that's soon behind us and moving a dream over to a memory.
Land ho! Fatu Hiva, the island of my childhood hero Thor Heyerdahl. This was actually one of his favorite islands where he took his wife Liv to their wedding holiday after the wedding. So yeah. That's our first island here in French Polynesia. Can't wait to explore it, and it's gonna be so nice to have the anchor down and to finally rest.
Thank you so much for watching and subscribing. Hope you enjoyed this episode and to see you here next week as we start exploring Fatu Hiva. All the best from Be Free. Cheers!
Singing my